respective topics. We really appreciated all of the different viewpoints, and I'm sorry that we didn't have some viewpoints as well represented as others, but I tried to do the best I could of representing both sides when I saw fit. And thank you all for coming. Are there any further questions or comments? We didn't let Senator Aletha Falscadeau speak at all, so we'll let her speak for a little bit. All right.
Thank you so much. I just felt it was important that I stop by today, especially since I live right next door to Wichita State and I represent Wichita State. I'd like to say I am Senator Aletha Falscadeau, and are you three students, young Democrats? Well, thank you for coming out. And Sammy Flaherty, Pat, everybody who's running, good luck on Tuesday. I last night had the opportunity of being at the Wichita Thunder hockey game with everybody. It was so much fun. It was so much fun. But I do want to share briefly, in my time in the Kansas legislature, one day I was walking to the parking lot with a Representative Morrison, and I don't know how we got on the subject, but I shared with her that I was a Christian, and she's a Republican, I'm a Democrat. Anyway, she gave me the biggest hug, and she couldn't believe that I was a Democrat and I was a Christian. And so we became, pretty good buddies, and she would always, support my legislation. And so, but anyway, that's my story on that. I just want to say real quickly, though, it was a few topics. We talked about fluoride in the water. I want to tell you, on October 16th, I was in a meeting in Topeka, and it was a meeting with our Ethics and Elections Committee, and Secretary of State Chris Kobach was there, and we were discussing in the future making the questions on our ballots a little more simpler for people when they have to answer yes or no. And so I brought up the special, placing the fluoride question on our ballot on Tuesday here in Wichita. And it was interesting, all the other senators on the committee, everybody looked over at me and they said, well, Aletha, you mean Wichita doesn't have fluoride in the water yet? Senator Vicki Smith, a senator of Shawnee County in Topeka, she says we've had fluoride in the water for a long time. And so Wichita being the largest city in the state of Kansas, it is going to be a major, it's still a major decision. I still have people who have advanced ballots calling and asking for my opinion, but of course the Wichita City Council shifted the burden to the people, allowing them to make that decision. And I just really think that we should have waited a little bit and got more information on the issue. But that's going to be, I'm still struggling personally. I was a yes. I talked to a lot of people and found out some more information. Now I'm kind of straddling the fence. I think I'm gonna make my decision at the last minute. But when we talk about voting, I just wish that we've got the new voter ID issues, and we've already seen that in, I don't know if you read the Wichita Eagle, I do every day faithfully, it's my Bible. and in Topeka they talked about where there had been an error made in mailing out advance ballots. And so even voting on issues that we agree or disagree on, we need to all have that opportunity and that right to vote. And so we're going to see how that turns out too on November 6th. But I just want to say thank the young people for being involved. It is crucial that you guys are actively involved in the process. It keeps democracy alive, and Wichita State though, I love Wichita State. Shockers, and Thomas Jefferson, wow. And Esau, thank you. thank you for staying involved. Some people run for office and they don't make it and they stop, but you've stayed actively involved in the process, and thank you. And again, on behalf of my colleague, Representative Gail Finney, she represents this district too. She said to tell everybody hello, and we will have a party. You're all welcome to stop by on Tuesday, guys, at all occasions at 7:30, a watch party. You know where All Occasions is. It's right there on 21st and Hillside. Oliver 21st, actually. And so stop by and say hi, and Lord's willing, because I believe in God and I believe in the state and all that. Lord's willing, I'm reelected on Tuesday, because I want to continue to advocate for good policy for all people. And this gentleman was there last night at the hockey game too. He's running for office too.
Against Gail Finney.
Oh no! Well, good luck to you also. I shared that with you
She's
last
not
night.
worried.
So, well, thank you for inviting me, and I have a baby shower to go to. So, thank you.
Thank you very much, Senator. And also, I just wanted to say thank you to Esau Freeman for approaching our group and allowing us to co-sponsor this event with him, because I think it's really important for us to have these discussions, whether we agree or not. In the long run, it's these types of discussions that help us create good policies, and that's what politics is about, hopefully. And I think it's good that it brings us all together, whether we agree or disagree, to discuss these points. So thank you all for coming. And would you like to speak on any of the issues that we've discussed, or tell us a little bit about yourself? Or
Don't get, we're going to need to change batteries, get some more things here.
Yep.
No, he goes on.
all right.
I am a Libertarian candidate. I'm the candidate in the 84th District. My name is Gail Finney, who I'm sure is a fine person and will do a better job than me if she's there. I hope, because she's the one that's going to be there, not me. At any rate, I did want to say something about religion. My father was a minister, so was his father. I actually went to college for a while to study the ministry myself. Now I don't call myself a Christian anymore, but I still feel it is sort of the religion of America. Not everybody is a believer in it, of course, but it's part of the fabric that holds us together. And I think we need to be afraid that we don't encourage the people too much that are trying to tear that apart. Don't think it's really going to do our country any good, any more than I think tearing Islam apart in Saudi Arabia would really help Saudi Arabia. You may or may not know that one of the first things they did when the communists took over the Soviet Union was to outlaw all religion. You could not be a Christian. They closed down all the churches and the Muslim mosques also. I don't think they quite got around to closing down the Jewish, since most of the people running the country were Jewish, but nonetheless they were hard on the Christians. And I don't think they did it because they thought it was good for the country. They knew that getting rid of the religion would weaken the people, weaken the fabric, and make it easier for them to control it.
Thank you. And is there anyone else who would like to make any closing statements?
I would like to just speak a little bit. We talk about groundwater. I used to work for KCC, which is the conservation division of where we protected the groundwater. Right now, and of course I live in a rural area where we have a private well. I'm fighting nitrates in my water, and also, and I forget the technical name for it, but it's what makes chalkboard, gypsum, but we have a serious situation with water in our state. We have the Ogallala Reservoir out west, which has an impermeable layer of limestone over it. It does not recharge. It is on a plan of controlled depletion. And the Equus beds, we are trying to recharge that from the little Arkansas River. And Brownback has, I think, planning on it, has already done it, taken away the money to do that. And of course, sitting and listening to the geologists at the KCC talk about the next wars will be fought over water, and we're already fighting a war with Nebraska over the water from the Republic. with Colorado or the water from the Arkansas River. So this is something you need to become aware of because this is very important to your future. The availability of potable water. And the oil industry has pretty much destroyed Barber County's water. The KCC is right now in the process of trying to clean it up. They're in the process of trying to clean a lot of groundwater up that's been polluted. We know southeast Kansas was polluted by the mining industry and somewhat by the oil and gas industry too. I can remember as a small child asking my grandfather when he went to get a little water to fill the cistern, why don't you just drill a well like Daddy did? He says, honey, the groundwater down here is no good. It cannot be drunk. So, with that said, I will shut my mouth. I could get on that whole issue and deliver a...
Well, perhaps that's a good topic for our next forum. So with that, I think we'll go ahead and wrap things up. Thank you all for coming, and I really appreciate it. You're all definitely welcome.